All right, welcome back to the Canada-USA Nation Wars here in North America where the Rumble goes down. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, representing Team America, perhaps the youngest player on their team of the nation known as the United States. It is the Red Terran, Xenocider. His opponent in the lower left, playing for complexity, representing Canada, it is Hendralisk. And perhaps the most represented Canadian here is, again, he did attend WCG to represent Canada after winning the national finals. So pretty cool beans. But as I said in the load screen, and I'll repeat right now, Hendralisk is a guy who's actually been streaming a lot lately. Henry is a really good commentator. The problem is his confidence is not exactly sky high at the moment, so he might actually struggle in this matchup. Xenocider is someone who I don't think he's ever actually had too much trouble as far as confidence goes. He does get shaken after losses, just like anyone else does. However, that being said, he actually performed quite nicely just last night. I was watching Zombie Grub, MIA, rest in peace, whatever, and Word cast the Clarity Open Zowie NA, number 3, and Xenocider did fight off in the finals. Did not quite take it, but he went through a lot of good players to get there, so coming up against Hendralisk, it's not going to be an easy feat, but I can certainly see Xenocider bringing Team USA back into this. The score currently, as it's not displayed here on the screen, guys, 3-1 in the favor of Canada. And as stated before, if you guys want to check out, type !Nation Wars in chat. It'll bring up 2 PayPal links, neither of which is associated with us, Base Rate TV, or even Total Biscuit. But what they do is, in fact, Huck is collecting any donations you guys want to give Team Canada for their performance here today, and Minigun is collecting any donations on behalf of Team America, Team USA. So if you guys have some extra cash, if you really like the plays going on, if you want to leave these guys a tip, don't go to shoutcraft.com. That was a mistake we had made earlier, but just donate directly to their PayPals, and they'll know exactly what to do. They're splitting it up 100% between the teammates, so it's not like Huck is pocketing your $5 saying, some mind games, I guess. Coming on chat, I mean, Xenocider is saying exactly what he's doing, minus the Marine part. Just go for the Rax expand. Reaper coming out is, of course, expected at this point. Hendralisk does have Queens already coming out. Those 4 lanes are about to pop in just a moment's time, so no real danger for the drones. He may have to build cancel like 1-ish. And to answer a question in chat too, because I want to give some promotion and some love to Gameheart. There's no team color mod for this game. You can't like put on an overlay like you can for WCS or Gameheart UIs. This is actually just the Gameheart Lite maps that Ryan Shutters has like diligently been making and promoting, and they look fantastic. The stronger team colors are awesome, and they're only enabled through this map particularly. So you guys can search GHL on the custom maps, not the arcade portion of StarCraft 2, and all the Gameheart Lite related maps will come up. And in all of them, you can set stronger team colors, you can put the team logos. I mean, you can see Complexity right outside Hendralisk's base, you can see Evil Geniuses outside of Xenocider's. It's pretty cool. Now, this is weird, I didn't know this. I thought the logos were tied in with where the bases were, not where the command center is being built. Sorry, Part2, I know the stream can't hear you, but do you see this weird E that's sort of like hanging over the cliff? That looks silly. I guess it'll disappear when the command center lifts off, but okay, cool. Still dancing around these Reapers. Not looking for kills, of course. Xenocider just simply looking for scouting information. Helen's going to come up after this, too. So with this 3rd command center, I mean, Xenocider's playing this about as standard as you can. And he's not suffering any consequences for it. You can't, really, unless you're going to go for some sort of crazy 2-base bust or pull a Nurture and do like 2-base mutas and try and catch your opponent off guard. The Hellions and the Reapers, they'll hold off most of what comes in the early game. And of course, by using the Reapers continuously to scout, he confirms that there's no Roach Warren, so he doesn't have to worry about a bust that he's not prepared for. I mean, how many times, if you guys are a Terran player, you're tuning in right now, how many times have you gone for this sort of early opening with Hellions and been like, oh crap, those are Roaches, I can't do anything about it defensively or offensively. So that's the whole point of the Reaper. That's the greatest benefit it serves and causes. But now that Stimpak's on the way, now that he's going to have Marines, Marauders, a couple more racks coming down in a moment's time, I would hope and imagine. Any sort of threat's not going to be that much of an issue. One thing a little bit worrisome though is Xenocider has not actually gone for the full wall off just yet. Again, whether it's Roaches, Banelings, Zerglings, he's not expecting any of this to come offensively, so he's actually delayed the wall off. Now fully walling it off with double engineering bays, a bit of a risky choice. These do have a lot more health than supply depots, so if a Baneling bust is coming, it will not break this wall as easily. But this is where your tech is. And the last thing you want to do, I mean, Hitman at the start of the day, he lost his weapon upgrades in the middle of the fight because the Forge was on the front lines. Not because, I mean, that's how we're all Protoss put it, but I mean, Terran players are suffering from the same sort of danger where if these engineering bays are exposed, there's a good chance you may just lose them. Now, Hendralisk is doing something Hendralisk is actually pretty well known for here. I gotta give him a shout out for this. He did this, he played versus Dragon in a show match. Oh, Reaper does die. I played against Dragon in a show match not too long ago that we put on at Base Trade TV, and one thing he did do is go for roach drops, and it worked really well because, like Xenocider, Dragon put all his defense at the front of his base. He had primarily Hellions and not a lot of Marines. What Hendralisk will probably do is run outside here towards the third base-ish, towards the southern part here, or even hug this cliff and just drop. Elevator the roaches into the main, not go for any cheese, no shenanigans, just simply drop and try and kill. Now, I guess the Overlord drop in and of itself can be considered a form of cheese. I don't know. Xenocider taking this southern base might actually see this coming, though, if that's going to be the case. Hendralisk, our Canadian player, what are you up to, man? We'll see how this goes. Overlords are not quite have the new Nubite Carapace. Actually, he's saying, screw it, forget drops, I'm going to go for a Nidus Worm? What? Is this plan B in case the drops don't work? Or are the drops plan B in case the Nidus Worm doesn't work? I mean... Hendralisk is dedicating a lot to this, and what's kind of cool is while he's a bit of a showman in this regard, he's going to put on an entertaining game for us. Like I always say, anytime a Nidus Worm comes into the game, it gets that much cooler. That being said, this is not entirely an illegitimate strategy. It's not just strictly for funsies, and this can actually work out quite nicely. Masa's saying this didn't work out for him in the past, though, nicely, so maybe not going to be the case. Roaches do have to be careful getting on top of this. Everything's going to get cut off. The Bailings will be denied by the rocks. The timing on this is really unfortunate, and these roaches will suffer a rather embarrassing death. Going to take out a Hellion with it? No, not even. So just blood splatter everywhere. But the Overlords have been lifted up. There's roaches. There's Banelings. There's going to be hell raining down in the base of Xenocider, and I don't think he knows this is coming. He knows an attack is coming for sure. He saw the Banelings, but he doesn't know it's necessarily Overlords. So he can drop the Banelings on top of this, a Nidus Worm even coming down on top of this, so this is going to be the focal point of where Xenocider wants to take a fight, but Hendralisk will defend this out quite nicely, picks up the Banelings once again, tries to take the Nidus Worm from the low ground, but the Overlords are on top of this with the Banelings. If you don't have speeding, you don't have creep, you can go by air. Now Roach is coming out en masse thanks to the Nidus Worm, and unfortunately another one being placed down. I don't know why Xenocider didn't shoot the Nidus Worm from the low ground. That would have been a great positional advantage, and Hendralisk would have been forced to build another with no roaches. But looks like he's going to bust in here in a big way. What he's doing right now is what he should have done 30 seconds ago. But Xenocider perhaps caught a little off guard by this strategy, saying, wait a minute, what is this? This is not what I was expecting at all. Barracks have been taken down. Reactors have died. Supply depots are going down as well. And while there's a lot of... I don't even know why the Vikings are being made. I mean, I don't know. Denied healthcare, America. No combat shield for you, says Hawk, and he's absolutely right. The health of Xenocider is certainly in danger, and he's going to have to pay out the ass load to make up for it. Siege tank in the natural base is going to help ward off the roaches a little bit, but the damage they've done has already been massive. There's more rallying out behind this, so he's actually going to use the Overlords to drop the roaches on top of the tank, so the tank will even go down. And this is going to be it for Xenocider. More racks are being put down to the natural, but it's a little too late. And looks like special tactics. Who needs White Russia? You don't need Russia when you've got Canada. Barracks are being lifted up. So much syrup all over his face, all over his base. The purple syrup known as creep. But this is not looking good for Xenocider. You guys got lucky every game. Suppy. Your name is Suppy, not Salty. Looks like another tank does go down. The bunker's about to fall. And this is really not looking good. Good game is finally called. Hendralisk takes it. Canada 4-1 over USA.